Ladies and gentlemen, welcome from the Patrick Baumann House of Basketball here in Mies, Switzerland for the induction ceremony of the 2020 class of the FIBA Hall of Fame. Now please welcome your host for today, the voice of basketball in France, Mr. Georges Eddy.
Hello, bonjour, good evening, good morning. My name is Georges Eddy. I'm your host for this grand occasion. I'm very honored that FIBA gave me the chance to be here and to assist in honoring all these legends. I've been following most of them during their impressive careers. The current travel restrictions, unfortunately, did not allow us to have you with us in person, but we are very happy to have all of you at least in this virtual ceremony. We thank you for being with us and joining us from 8 different time zones, some of you at very early or very late hours. Thank you so much. I would like to welcome you personally one by one. Ms. Isabelle Filjakovsky from France. Mr. Mieczysław Łopatka from Poland. Mr. Ruben Magnano from Argentina. Mr. Steve Nash from Canada. Ms. Agnes Nemet from Hungary. Mr. Modestas Paulauskas from Lithuania. Mr. Svetislav Pezic from Serbia. Mr. Kenichi Sako from Japan. Ms. Shin Cha Park from Korea. Ms. Tara Vanderveer from the USA. Mr. Alexander Volkov from the Ukraine. And Mr. Yuri Zdovc from Slovenia. Great to have you all with us. Let's celebrate together the induction ceremony of the FIBA Hall of Fame, a shrine that is dedicated to the amazing people who built the foundations of the global sport of basketball since its birth until its accomplished glory of today. Before we honor you, the great players and coaches of this class, please welcome from the Patrick Baumann House of Basketball, the president of FIBA, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Haman Nyang from Mali, with his words of welcome.
Dear basketball friends, dear stars of our sport, dear members of the 2020 members of the Fame Class Hall of Fame, dear friends, a warm welcome to you all from this wonderful House of Basketball, which has been named after our late Secretary General, Patrick Baumann. Thank you for joining us from all over the world in 8 different time zones. Your class is a shining example of excellence and universality. The 9 players in your class come from 9 different countries and 4 continents. You are all legends in your home country, and you have inspired generations of young people to play basketball and to follow in your footsteps. I am sure that the 3 coaches in the class would have had a lot of fun building a team around you and adding titles to their illustrious careers. But you coaches are no strangers to success at the highest possible level either. You have taught thousands of players of all ages to make them better players, but also to become better people. You have all contributed greatly to the growth of basketball in your country and around the world. Your efforts have paid off for our great family of basketball fans. No matter where you're from or what your background is. And as the great Brussels said in his 2007 FIBA Hall of Fame induction speech, I feel at home wherever people love basketball. I wish we'd had the opportunity to meet personally today. When I became FIBA president at the FIBA Basketball World Cup in August 2019 in China, I looked forward to 2020 and to celebrate this class. We've been held back by the circumstances. But this ceremony was only postponed. And although this is only a virtual ceremony, the honor you will receive today is the highest FIBA can bestow on players and coaches. And I think you all fully deserve this. From the bottom of my heart, let me congratulate you all. Stay in touch with our game, and I hope to see you soon somewhere on the courts of the world. Thank you again for your great contribution to the game of basketball.
Thank you, Mr. President. Without further delay, we would like to proceed with our first inductee. She racked up a staggering 2,562 points while representing her country. Standing 1.95 meters, the center played 204 games in a French national team jersey. She reached the title game of the FIBA Women's Eurobasket 3 times during her 4 appearances, the most memorable of which was in 2001 when she was crowned champion. Here is more. What an impressive career. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the great Isabelle Filjakowski from France. And now is the moment for the enshrinement of our first inductee. This will be done by the highest authorities of FIBA, FIBA President Haman Yang and FIBA Secretary General Andreas Zaglis. They will present the FIBA Hall of Fame trophy. Gentlemen, the floor is yours.
FIBA, the International Basketball Federation, is honored to induct Ms. Isabelle Filjakowski as a player into the 2020 class of the FIBA Hall of Fame. Congratulations.
Thank you, Mr. President, and congratulations, Isabelle. We will now listen to your acceptance speech.
Thank you very much. With this nomination to the 2020 FIBA Hall of Fame class, I feel honored to enter into this prestigious circle of personalities who've written the most beautiful pages of basketball history. I joined Jackie Chazalon, Antoine Roux, and Robert Blanchard as French representatives, as well as Margot Didek and Mieczysław Lopotka, my compatriots from my home country. It is with great emotion that I learned of this nomination, and my thoughts go to the French Basketball Federation and Jean-Pierre Ciotat, whom I thank for his support. The organization and the means of this federation allow the incredible careers of players, or the quality of the training and the development of the activities which have allowed France to be at the best world level for some decades already. I have a thought also for Ivan Mainini, who is an emblematic president of the Federation and FIBA. He supported me in my post-sports career and restored the place of heritage in French basketball. Knowing where you come from and building on past experience is a mark of excellence and success. We are all people who have come from different cultures and systems, but what they have in common are the women and men who embody them. I'd like to dedicate this entry into the FIBA Hall of Fame to my parents, all the coaches in my sporting career, the clubs, my teammates, and the opponents who have helped me become a better basketball player and a better person. I'd also like to highlight a few important people. Odette Grandjean, Gaëtan Lebrigand, who was technical manager in Auvergne, who coached the AS Montferrand team when I started in the first division of 16. Lale Lucic, Serbian coach of Charles Lezo, who made me understand basketball at 20 years of age. Vadim Kapranov, Russian coach at Bourges, against whom we won the European Championship in 2001. Seda Berry, coach at Colorado University, who opened the doors of American basketball and the WNBA for me. She also gave me the vocation of a coach, without forgetting Alain Jardel, who brought the EDF to its best level. They all believed in me. They allowed me to realize my potential and gave me a sense of meaning to my investment, even today in my job as a player trainer. I tried to transmit the love of the game and how to build a path to achieve one's dreams. I'd like to thank the players I have accompanied at the Pôle Espoir de Vichy since 2004. On the camps for very tall players with the EDF under 18, under 20, and A teams. I'd like to finish by mentioning my club teammates who have helped me win French, Italian, University, and WNBA Conference and EuroLeague titles. We will celebrate in Strasbourg during the Eurobasket the 20th anniversary of this title, which represents the first European Championship title for French basketball. We were also the first French women's team to qualify for the Olympic Games in 2000 in Sydney. But the story goes on, and the qualification of the French women's 3x3 team for the Tokyo Olympics on 30 May made me particularly happy. Two players that I trained at the Vichy Pôle between 13 and 15 years of age, Aminga Touré and Laetitia Guapo, and two others, Marie-Ève Paget and Soana Lucet in the French A team, became the pioneers of 3x3 at the Olympic Games. Thank you to the FIBA Hall of Fame Selection Committee, who allowed me to bear witness to this legacy that I wish to pass on to the next generation. Thank you 1,000 times, Isabelle.
Our next inductee played in no less than 4 Olympic Games and scored a total of 3,522 points in 236 games for his national team. He is a basketball icon in Poland that inspired generations that came after him. Here is more. Ladies and gentlemen, here is Mr. Miroslav Łopatka from Poland. Mr. President, the floor is yours to present Mr. Łopatka with his trophy.
FIBA, the International Basketball Federation, is honored to induct Mr. Miroslav Łopatka as a player into the 2020 class of the FIBA Hall of Fame. Congratulations.
Thank you, Mr. President. And congratulations again, Monsieur Łopatka. The microphone is open for your acceptance speech, sir.
Mr. President, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to express my thanks to you for nominating me for the FIBA Hall of Fame 2020. I feel truly honored to be among those who have made basketball a world-famous discipline. Sport in general has always had a special place in my life. I started my sporting career in Gniezno, which was the first capital of Poland. It is thanks to basketball, to the coaches and the people I met throughout my career, that I became, in turn, a high-level player, a coach, and what I would call an honest man. When I discovered basketball, which is a team and individual sport, everything changed in my life. Basketball allowed me to develop endurance, self-control, alertness, precision, and responsibility. I learned what team spirit was. It allowed me to travel, to see other countries, to learn about cultures and foreign languages. I have met some very nice and very interesting people. I have kept in touch with some of them even up to the present day. When deciding to nominate me for the FIBA Hall of Fame, you studied my sporting career. And you already knew that for a player, a team from the countries of the East, enjoying all these successes has been a major consideration. I was proud to represent my country abroad. My son, Miroslav, was also a basketball player in my old club, WKS Slask. I continued to popularize all these successes related to my professional career among young athletes. I have been president of the Olympic Committee of the Lower Silesia region for 25 years. Along with my friends from various sports disciplines, we organize tournaments, sports parties, speeches at schools to spread the philosophy of sport and also to make people aware of the importance of fair play. I consider this outreach to young people as a mission, as a recognition that life has given to me. I'm also very lucky to live in the city of Wrocław, a city that loves basketball. It is a green city, overflowing with joie de vivre, a city of students, a city open to foreigners. In this beautiful city, I am a happy husband, father, and grandfather. Once again, thank you very much for this unique honor that gives me a real sense of accomplishment. I'd also like to congratulate the organizers of this ceremony and the 12 other nominees. I wish you all the best of health, courage, and optimism for a better tomorrow. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you so much, Mr. Łopatka. Without a doubt, our next inductee secured his lofty place in international basketball history after leading his homeland Argentina to glory at the Athens Olympic Games. It was a confirmation of his greatness and the awe-inspiring talent of the players, most of whom had reached the final of the FIBA Basketball World Cup 2 years before in Indianapolis. Let's take a look. Wow, an exceptional life achievement. Now please welcome Mr. Ruben Mañaño from Argentina. Mr. President, please present this magnificent trophy.
FIBA, the International Basketball Federation, is honored to induct Mr. Ruben Mañano, as a coach into the 2020 class of the FIBA Hall of Fame. Congratulations.
Thank you, Mr. President, and congratulations again, Mr. Mañano. Please take the floor now for your acceptance speech.
Thank you very much indeed. It's a great pleasure and a source of enormous pride to be able to share today with all of you what is one of the happiest days of my life as a basketball coach. I have shared with real leading lights of the world basketball. Just a month ago, Mr. Horacio Muratore sent a communication to inform me that I had been selected to be inducted in the Hall of Fame. Now, this was a unique, inexplicable moment of my life. And it led me to think about a few questions, a few issues. It has to do with the nature of challenge and what allows you to believe in what's really a utopia, where you break paradigms, where you can arrive and you can continue to grow. Now, I felt that I had to do something that I very rarely do, and that is to look back. I always like to look forward, to look to the future and new challenges and goals. But this time, as I say, I felt obliged to turn my head and look back to see where I had come from. This journey with so much passion and so much effort. A journey which, of course, I did not walk alone. I was accompanied by a huge number of people who were with me through every step of the way in my life as a trainer, as a coach. Certainly, happy moments. And to come into the Hall of Fame is a cause of great honor. It's a cause of great pleasure, of great pride. And doing this also makes me think, and I think it brings out from me one of the most pure distinctions that we can have, which is that of gratitude. Thanking, giving thanks really to the three basic pillars that support the life of a coach. My family, Patricia, my wife, Sofia and Francisco, my children. These really are the people that provide all the support that I need, and of course me a lot of security and trust. Trust placed in me by the leaders, clubs, associations, federations, confederations. Acceptance by the players. They are the real raw material in this whole business. So I am convinced that without this acceptance, a coach can really not do very much. I don't want to forget one vital pole, which is coaches, all the coaches that have accompanied me throughout these years. Now, without any doubt, I strongly embrace this award, this recognition, which I did not expect. It's exciting, it's unforgettable. I will never forget this for the rest of my life. Thank you, FIBA. Thank you, basketball.
Thank you for those great words, Mr. Magnano. Where does one start with the incredible story of our next inductee, who at first in childhood played soccer and ice hockey, but then discovered basketball and blossomed into the best player his home country has ever known? He truly was spectacular, a 1'91" point guard that became one of the most dominant figures for his national team and on the NBA hardwood. Steve Nash from Canada, someone who changed basketball forever, a great player. Steve is head coach of the Brooklyn Nets that are running, as we speak, a successful but stressful playoff campaign. For this reason, he cannot be with us in this call, and he apologizes for his absence. We miss you, Steve. Don't worry, you will receive your award in any case. Mr. President, please present Mr. Nash with his FIBA Hall of Fame trophy.
FIBA, the International Basketball Federation, is honored to induct Mr. Steve Nash as a player into the 2020 class of the FIBA Hall of Fame. Congratulations.
Thank you, Mr. President. As Steve cannot be with us, he has kindly sent us the following message.
Thank you for this incredible honor. Being inducted into the FIBA Hall of Fame is a dream come true for a young kid from the west coast of Canada. To be able to represent my country was the best experience in my career. Playing in the Olympics and knowing you know, that you and your 11 teammates were representing your nation against the best teams in the world was a special time. But playing for my country in general was so important to my development and the experiences of my career, to form those bonds with my teammates, coaches, all those people that I'm still very close with today, had an incredible impact on me, and like I said, has just been the most memorable part of my career, being able to represent my country. So thank you, FIBA. Thank you to all my teammates and coaches and all the fans in Canada who made playing for our national team so special. Thank you.
And of course, we wish Steve Nash good luck for the NBA playoffs. Our next inductee is the all-time record holder for appearances with her national team by stepping out an incredible 367 times in a Hungary jersey. She was present at no fewer than 8 editions of the FIBA Women's Eurobasket between 1980 and 1997. Here is more. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Ms. Agnes Nemet from Hungary. Gentlemen, please present this remarkable trophy.
FIBA, the International Basketball Federation, is honored to induct Ms. Agnes Nemet as a player into the 2020 class of the FIBA Hall of Fame. Congratulations.
Congratulations again, Ms. Nemet. The floor is yours.
Thank you. And first of all, I want to congratulate for the other members of class 2020. I start to play quite late, at age 14, but that time I've been already more than 6 feet tall. One day, one basketball coach came to my school because he heard about me, and he asked me if I wanted to play basketball, and I said yes, and that was my lucky day. In a few years after, I already played with the Hungarian junior national team, and 4 years later with the Hungarian national team in the Olympics in Moscow. I had 23 wonderful years, of course, with a good and bad time, like in the sports. And I learned to find for the others and myself and work hard even it is hurt. I had more than 20 coaches, but 4 of them were very important for me, and they were Bátor Vilmos, Bild Katalin, Szabó Ödön, and Killik László. Without them, I wouldn't have this honor. I finished to play in 1999, and it was a little bit bad feeling because nobody said thank you or some kind words. It was like, you are too old, you can go. But then after 22 years, I got my reward. End of March of this year, I got a call and I received the best surprise of my life, that I will be a part of FIBA Hall of Fame. Hungary is a small country, but nonetheless, with the national teams and many clubs represented on the top level of the European basketball. On the European basketball, I am very proud of this honor that I can be the first player from Hungary. I can be a part of the Hall of Fame. Thank you to the Hungarian Basketball Federation for nominating me, and to the FIBA committee for choosing me. Especially in my age, when I thought nobody would remember me. At last, I want to thank for all the people who are working for basketball, because this last year was really hard. And because of them, the national championships and the European and World Cups could go on. They keep basketball alive. So finally, thank you once again. I can't find the word how happy I am.
Thank you, Ms. Nemet, for these inspiring words and telling us your wonderful life story. He became the youngest MVP at the FIBA Eurobasket 56 years ago in Moscow at just 20 years of age. A 1'93" juggernaut guard forward from Lithuania with a fearless approach. He took on the best guards, but also mixed it up with the opposing bigs in battles for rebounds. His list of podium finishes is breathtaking. Let's watch the video. What a career! Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Mr. Modestas Paulauskas from Lithuania. He will now be awarded the FIBA Hall of Fame trophy by the FIBA president.
FIBA, the International Basketball Federation, is honored to induct Mr. Modestas Paulauskas as a player into the 2020 class of the FIBA Hall of Fame. Congratulations.
Thank you, Mr. President, and congratulations again, Mr. Paulauskas. The microphone is open for your acceptance speech.
Hello, basketball community. Gerbėmieji, šiandien man yra didelė šventė ir pasinaudodamas šią progą noriu padėkoti FIBA už tokį aukštą mano darbo įvertinimą. Aš kartu su savo šeima džiaugiuosi, kad esu taip pagerbtas tarp geriausių pasaulio krepšininkų. Esu dėkingas savo likimui, kad jau pradėjęs nuo 6 metų pradėjęs žaisti krepšinį, jau 17 metų buvau pakviestas į geriausią Lietuvos krepšinio klubą, į Kauno Žalgirio krepšinio klubą. Pasinaudodamas irgi šią progą norėčiau padėkoti šiam klubui, kuris mane lydėjo 14 metų, sudarė man puikias sąlygas treniruotis, ilsėtis ir dalyvauti įvairaus masto varžybose. Padėkoti šitam klubui ir jo administracijai, kuri man domėjosi manim ir sudarė visas man sąlygas. Kartu norėčiau padėkoti savo pirmiems treneriams ir vėlesniem treneriam, tai yra Vladui Knašiui, Vytautui Bimbai, Vladimirui Kontrašinui ir Aleksandrui Gomerskiui, kurie mane lydėjo visą mano kūrybinį gyvenimo krepšinyje kelią. Džiaugiuosi, kad man pavyko pasiekti šitų sporto aukštumų ir Europos, ir pasaulio, ir olimpinių žaidynių metu. Tai didelė pagalba šitų žmonių, šitų trenerių ir aš jiems dar kartą dėkingas. Šiandien aš norėčiau padėkoti ir tiems žaidėjams, su kuriais man teko. Aš šiandien jų pavardžių nenorėčiau čia paminėti, nes jų buvo daug ir mano klube, ir Sovietų Sąjungos komandose, ir įvairiuose kitose klubuose, kur man teko dalyvauti. Norėčiau kartu padėkoti savo bendražygiams ir kolegams. Taip pat sveikinu šiandien, pasinaudodama šią progą, sveikinu visus laureatus, kurie yra kartu su manim pakviesti būti šlovės muziejuje ir palinkėti jiems kuo geresnės sėkmės ir sveikatos. Ačiū. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Paulauskas, and welcome to the Hall of Fame. Our next inductee is born in Novi Sad, Serbia, and guided national teams and clubs to numerous titles in a career spanning nearly 4 decades as a coach. There are so many highlights in his coaching life that it's hard to keep count, and even harder to determine which was the most important. Let's have a look. Wherever he goes, he wins titles. Ladies and gentlemen, here is coach, Mr. Svetislav Pešić from Serbia. Mr. President, the floor is yours to present the Hall of Fame trophy.
FIBA, the International Basketball Federation is honored to induct Mr. Stanislav Pešić as a coach into the 2020 class of the FIBA Hall of Fame. Congratulations.
The microphone is open for your acceptance speech.
Hello, dear FIBA family. I am very honored to be here in front of you, and I would like to thank you for my nomination into the FIBA Hall of Fame. At the same time, I want to congratulate all other selected members from class 2020. I am very proud to be in the same group of people who create, change, and improve our sport, our game of basketball. I've always trying to do the same, doing my career with the help of my coaches, players, clubs, federation. And as you know, the main job of a coach is to take a decision every day and to take full responsibility for the development of player and the team. And of course, sometimes you must win some games. And but I believe that I'm not only part of the Hall of Fame because of my result, some titles or trophies, and I have the feeling that I am here because I have always tried to help improving basketball in all countries where I worked in mainly in former Yugoslavia, Serbia, of course, Germany, and Spain. My life is basketball. I dedicate, let's say, my life to basketball. Basketball given me a lot. I was able to read, to learn from other people and coaches. Because of this, I was doing the same until now, and I will continue sharing my knowledge and experience with all the coaches all around the world, like in coach clinics by FIBA or other national federation. Thank you one more time. Thank you very much. And I wish you all the best for everybody, and greetings from Munich.
Thank you, Mr. Pešić, another great coach in a long line of Serbian tradition. Our next inductee comes from Asia and is the first FIBA Hall of Famer from Japan. He was an inspirational player for many years in his home country as a fiery point guard and leader. From the time he led his team to the 1988 National High School Championships title in Japan, much was expected of the playmaker, and he delivered. More on this video. Amazing images from a stunning career. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Mr. Kenichiro Sako from Japan. Gentlemen, please present the FIBA Hall of Fame trophy.
FIBA, the International Basketball Federation, is honored to induct Mr. Kenigo Sako as a player into the 2020 class of the FIBA Hall of Fame. Congratulations.
Thank you, gentlemen, and congratulations again, Mr. Sako. This is your moment for your acceptance speech.
まずはじめに、このような名誉ある FIBA 殿堂入りに選出していただきました FIBA の関係者皆様に感謝申し上げます。誠にありがとうございます。そして、両親といつも一番近くで支え続けてくれている妻と子供たちにもこの場を借りて感謝したいと思います。バスケットボールにおいて素晴らしい実績と歴史を積み上げてきた世界中の名選手の仲間入りを果たせたことは非常に光栄であり、日本人選手として新たな歴史を刻むことができたことを非常に嬉しく思っています。自分がバスケットボールを始めたのが8歳の時でしたが、きっかけは父親がバスケットボールをしていたということを知り、両親に褒めてもらいたいという、そういう思いから競技をスタートさせました。その背景には、自分が両親から離れ、祖母に預けられて生活をしていた時期があったという、そういうことから少し両親の愛に飢えていたのかもしれません。そのことによりバスケットボールを通じて自分を見てほしかった、そういう思い、そういう記憶が今でもはっきり覚えています。しかしバスケットボールをやり始めたら、そういうきっかけや思いとは全く裏腹に、その楽しさに魅了され、仲間たちと毎日一日の大半をバスケットボールに費やしていた、そういう記憶もあります。バスケットボールを始めた当時のことを思い返しても、今回の FIBA 殿堂入りという名誉ある賞の受賞や日本代表でプレーするなんていう、そういうことも、また数多くのタイトルや優勝を経験できるということも全く想像していませんでした。私のキャリアにおける成功は、自分にこれまで携わっていただいたコーチ、スタッフ、チームメイト、ファン、そして多くの友人と家族のサポートなしでは決して成し遂げることができなかったと思っています。その方々にも感謝を伝えたいと思います。この FIBA の殿堂入りという栄誉は、私個人の功績ではなく、日本バスケットボール界に関わっているすべての皆様の努力の証だと思っています。日本は世界のトップレベルのチームと戦うにはまだまだ成長しなくてはいけません。しかし、世界で活躍している優秀な選手たちも出てきています。その選手たちを目標としている若くて有望な選手たちも増えてきていると実感しています。私は現在、日本代表アシスタントコーチおよびユース代表ヘッドコーチを務めていますが、私が現役時代に経験したことや、私自身が指導者としての学びを続けていくことにより、スキルや戦術だけではなく、メンタルの部分も育てていけるコーチになることを 目標とし、バスケットボールの発展に向けて邁進していきたいと思っています。最後になりますが、現在、新型コロナウイルスの影響により、世界中で多くの人が苦しんでいると思います。私を含め、バスケットボール関係者ができることっていうのは、微力で限られていると思いますが、スポーツには人々に勇気や元気を与える力があると信じています。バスケットボールという素晴らしいスポーツの力を信じて、世界中の人々が力を合わせて、一日も早くこの世界的困難を乗り越えられることを願っています。本日は誠にありがとうございました。
Thank you, Mr. Sako, the first Hall of Famer from Japan. Our next inductee also comes from Asia. At the FIBA Women's Basketball World Cup in 1967, she led her team to the final of the competition and was crowned as MVP. She played as a center and has been recognized not only for her standout performances on the court, but also for her work once she had hung up her game shoes. There is more. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome a wonderful lady from Korea, Ms. Shin-Cha Park. Mr. President, please take the floor to present the trophy.
FIBA, the International Basketball Federation, is honored to induct Ms. Shin-Cha Park as a player into the 2020 class of the FIBA Hall of Fame. Congratulations.
Thank you, Mr. President, and congratulations again, Ms. Park. Now we are really looking forward to your acceptance speech.
FIBA 2020년 명예 전당에 선수로 저를 뽑아주신 모든 관계자분들께 감사합니다. 1950년 한국 전쟁을 겪고 53년부터 67년까지 14년 동안 농구가 너무 좋고 재밌어서 미친 듯이 빠졌습니다. 농구는 제 인생의 전부였습니다. 이때 뿌린 만큼 거둬들인다. 즉 연습한 양만큼 딱 그만큼의 승패의 결과를 얻을 수 있다는 인생의 큰 교훈을 농구를 통해 배웠습니다. 그 후 살면서 무엇을 하든지 최선을 다했습니다. 지금 인생 80에 기대하지 않은 뜻밖의 영광과 큰 선물을 받은 것 같습니다. 기쁩니다. 단 마음 한구석에 농구를 가르쳐 주신 여러 코치 선생님과 나의 팀메이트들에게 미안한 마음이 큽니다. 농구는 팀워크를 중요시하는 팀 스포츠입니다. 개인 플레이보다는 팀 포메이션을 강조하는 경기입니다. 그런데 선수 때부터 지금까지 대한민국 국민과 팬들로부터 혼자만 큰 사랑을 받은 것 같아 항상 죄송한 마음이었습니다. 오늘 이 영광과 기쁨을 모든 코치 선생님들과 대한민국 농구협회 선후배 농구인들과 함께 나누고 싶습니다. 우리는 한 팀이었습니다. 다시 FIBA에 감사합니다.
Thank you, Ms. Park. What a wonderful, inspiring speech from a basketball lifer. The accomplishments of our next inductee in the coaches category are extensive, and that's no surprise considering her stellar career, one that started more than 4 decades ago and continues to this day. Indeed, only a couple of months ago, she proudly led Stanford University to the NCAA championship, the 3rd time during her 36-year career with the organization. But she also brought home medals for USA basketball. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Coach Tara Vanderveer from the USA. You cannot see her as she is currently taking a rest from a very tiring season and is connecting with us from her mobile phone from a cabin in the woods with no internet connection. Gentlemen, please award Ms. Vanderveer her trophy.
FIBA, the International Basketball Federation, is honored to induct Ms. Tara Vanderveer as a coach into the 2020 class of the FIBA Hall of Fame. Congratulations.
Thank you, gentlemen. Ms. Tara Vanderveer was determined to be present with a pre-recorded acceptance speech. Let's have a look.
Good morning. Thank you to FIBA and the Honors Committee for this incredible recognition. Thank you to President Humani Ni-Young and Secretary General Andreas Saglas. Congratulations to my classmates. I want to give a special shout out to Isabel Fujikowski, who I coached against when you played at Colorado. Congratulations, Isabel. It is incredibly humbling to join the 100 members of the FIBA Hall of Fame from 33 different countries. Basketball is a game loved all over the world, and I have been very fortunate to have coached the USA team and travel the globe. And this has allowed me to compete all over the world against fellow friends and coaches. And I want to thank them for their great competition and their friendship. Thank you to USA Basketball Director Carol Callan and President Jim Tooley. It is also an incredible honor to be named in the company of the greatest American coaches, Hank Iba, Dean Smith, and my great friend, Pete Newell, Kay Yao, and Pat Summitt. They are all my heroes. Ever since I was 8 years old, when we did 3-player weave in gym class, I have loved the game of basketball. Unfortunately, there were no teams or opportunities to play basketball for girls when I was growing up. However, in 1974, an American law called Title IX passed, which prohibited discrimination based on sex or race in schools and universities. This law allowed me the chance to coach. I have traveled the world coaching the game I love, and I'm very appreciative of that opportunity. I want to thank FIBA for making women's basketball a top priority and helping to promote and grow the sport of women's basketball. Finally, I would like to thank my parents who were supportive but worried about my obsession with basketball. They were worried that that wouldn't be a job for me. And my dad always said, do your math homework, have a fallback plan, because basketball will never take you anywhere. Well, I sent them postcards from all over the world. Thank you so much for this honor. I only wish we could be together in Switzerland, maybe next year. Through the game we love, let us all work together to make our world more peaceful, inclusive, and a just place. Peace and love to all of you.
Thank you, Ms. Van der Veer, and long live Title IX. Thanks for being with us during your vacation, too. To appreciate the significance of our next inductee in international basketball, one must remember he played in several of the biggest, most memorable events in the sport's history, including the 1988 Seoul Olympics and the 1992 Barcelona Olympic Games. As a teenager, he took his first steps in professional basketball with the club side Stroitel in Kiev. Along with FIBA Hall of Famers Arvydas Sabonis and Šarūnas Marčiulionis, he began to make an impact for the Soviet Union team at the U19 FIBA World Cup. You'll see that was just the start. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Mr. Alexander Volkov from the Ukraine. Mr. President, please present this great trophy.
FIBA, the International Basketball Federation, is honored to induct Mr. Alexander Volkov as a player into the 2020 class of the FIBA Hall of Fame. Congratulations.
Thank you, Mr. President, and congratulations again, Mr. Volkov. The microphone is open for your acceptance speech.
Hello, basketball family of the world, FIBA world, and first of all, I want to say thank you for making me member of FIBA Hall of Fame. I like to congratulate my colleagues who became new members of Hall of Fame. And I'd like to use this opportunity to say thank you to people who just support me and be with me during my basketball career. First of all, I want to say thank you to my family, my mother and my father, who brought me to the basketball and make me and support me from the first day of my basketball career. Second, I like to say thank you for my beautiful, lovely wife, Alla, who been with me all the time with a glory time of great wins, great victories, and tough time with a when I have a big injury. She always behind me and stay with me and support me. Without her, I cannot believe I can survive this career. And I start to begin to thank, huge thank for my basketball school #1 from city of Chernihiv in Ukraine, which is great people, with my first coach, Alla Vergun and Evgeny Sinelnik, who became people who made me love basketball more than everything. And thanks God, I have these coaches. And then I was invited to junior national team of Ukraine and Kyiv sport boarding school. And I like to say big thank you to coaches there. It's Alexander Svirsky, and a special thank you for Efim Taslitsky, who transferred me from junior basketball to men's basketball. And after then, I was invited to Kyiv Institute of Physical Culture, where I get education. It's a sport education, and I special thank you for decan of this institute, Vitaly Kavyanov. And then I became a member of the Stроитель Будівельник Kyiv, which was one of the top team in Soviet League. And of course, I want to say thank you to coaches who was there. It's Boris Vdovichenko, it was Denis Gudzik, it was Viktor Bajinar, who then became a coach of national Ukrainian team, and also Zurab Khromayev, who was a coach of Budivельник, national team of Ukraine, and also of national team of Soviet Union. It's a big thank you for these people, and of course, a great group of people who developed me like a player. It's Vladimir Ryzhov, Roman Ryzhik, Alexander Belostenny, Vitaly Khomenko. Alexander Belostenny, who was with me in national team, he was my oldest brother in national team, in Soviet national team then. Vladimir Tkachenko, who played with me in Budivельник, in CSKA, in national team. And of course, later on, is great players who I first time won for Budivельник Soviet championship with Andrei Podkovyrov, Andrei Shavtala, Yuri Kosenko, and Yuri Silvestrov is a great group of players. And after then, I became a member of junior national team of Soviet Union, which is coach Vladimir Obukhov. After that, I became member of national team of Soviet Union, which is, of course, was a great coach. We call him father. It's Alexander Yakovlevich Gomelsky, who was our father. And then it was a coach of Vladas Garastas, who also became national team coach later, and also famous coach. He was coach of Žalgiris Kaunas, and coach of Yuri Selikhov, who was coach of CSKA Moscow when I played for CSKA Moscow, and he was coach of national team. And of course, I want to say thank you for the group of people who was with me in national team, especially in CSKA Moscow, who I played 2 years. It's a great group of people, and I special thank you for sport doctor Vasily Avramenko, who make us play more motivated and cure our injuries so quick. It was a great person, best person in the world for me. And I want to say thank you for all these players. I'm thanks God I have this opportunity to play with players like Sabonis, Marčiulionis, Walters, Yeremin, Tarakanov, Kurtinaitis, Khomičius, Miglinis, Sok, Yavaisha, Enden, and other. And it was a great time for my career with the Soviet national team. And then, as I became new stage of my career, I moved to professional sport. It was the first. I was one of the first Soviet players who moved to NBA. And first of all, I want to thank you, Ted Turner, David Stern, and Kim Bahuni, and Stan Kasten, who did so much to make a dream come true. And of course, coach Mike Fratello, who became I cannot imagine my life without Mike Fratello right now. He's the oldest brother. My father in the United States. He helped me everywhere. And later on, it was coach Bobby Weiss. And a special thank you for great players who play with me in the beginning of my career in Atlanta Hawks: Dominic Wilkins, Moses Malone, Doug Rivers, Spud Webb, Kevin Willis, and Cliff Livingston, and others. And after several years, I moved back to Europe, and I became a member of a great team, Panasonic Viola Reggio Calabria. It's one of the best years in my career. because I think it was a great city, great people. As they were like a family. I became a member of the family of the Panasonic Reggio Calabria, and special thanks for manager Costa, and a special thanks for coach Carlo Ricalcati, who became my friend after then for a long time. And I like to also tell as a great players who I play with: Santoro, Bulara, Avenia, and Dean Garrett. And you know, it was a great atmosphere and great city, which I'm still love to come, and I'm still feel that it's my city, you know. And I became an honor member of the Reggio Calabria after that. Thank you. And then I moved to Panathinaikos. It's a great team, great organization, and it was thanks for coach Željko Pavlicevic and Kostas Politis. And of course, I'm glad I played at the same time in this team with great Nikas Galis and also Stojko Vrankovic. And after 1 year, I moved to Olympiacos, which was a great team, also one of the best team in Europe, one of the best team in Greece, of course, and also is great thanks and great opportunity to work with coach Yannis Ioannidis and play together with Panayotis Fasoulas and Eddie Johnson and other great players. And a special thank I want to tell to my manager, my agent, Mark Fleischer and Kurt Scheffler, who's also helped me to know how to deal with professional sport. And after then, I'm retired, unfortunately, because of my injury, and I work in like a basketball manager until now. And I just thank God. Without him, I cannot imagine such a great opportunity to play with all these people, to great manager, great coaches, great players, what I had during my career. I'm sorry, maybe I cannot tell everybody who I want to tell, but thanks everybody. And I think it's this nomination, my membership with Hall of Fame and FIBA World would be great example, great motivation for young players in Ukraine. And also I would like whole basketball in the world, FIBA world, to succeed and basketball became a best and great sport in the world. We love basketball, we're part of it, and good luck to everybody, and thanks for everybody of World Basketball family.
Thanks to you, Mr. Volkov. Our last inductee was a mesmerizing player that had a rare mix of height, quickness, savvy, and intuition. He made difficult plays look easy and contributed often in spectacular fashion to game-winning plays. Surrounded by world-class talent when he suited up for Yugoslavia, he showed an ability to help his gifted teammates play at their best. Let's watch the video. What a career, and I was lucky enough to see a lot of it up close. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Mr. Yuri Zdovc from Slovenia. Gentlemen, please present the last inductee of the 2020 class with his trophy.
FIBA, the International Basketball Federation, is honored to induct Mr. Yuri Zdovc as a player into the 2020 class of the FIBA Hall of Fame. Congratulations.
Thank you, Mr. President, and congratulations again, Mr. Duft. The microphone is open for your acceptance speech.
Hello, everybody. It's a real pleasure to be here with you today. First, I would like to congratulate all the players and coaches who have been accepted into the Hall of Fame. It's a really great honor to be part of this, and I would like to thank all the people who vote for me. I'm very grateful for my career as a player and a coach, and I know all that wouldn't be possible without certain people in my life who believe in me and support me. I would like to start with my parents. Unfortunately, my father died when I was 15, so he couldn't be a part of my career, but he always supported me and gave me my work ethic and discipline. My mother was the most important person in my life, especially in the beginning of my career, and without her, I probably wouldn't be here today giving this speech. She pushed me when I needed it the most, and she's still my biggest fan and critic. People who had the greatest impact on my career were, of course, coaches who saw my potential and gave me opportunities and guidance. I started in my hometown, Slovenske Konjice, with Boris Schmidt-Iko and Jože Golob-Taubi, who put me in the senior team when I was 15. At the same time, Rusmir Halilovic came to Slovenia looking for promising young players for Yugoslavia national team and chose me, which was a big step forward and a chance to practice and play with the best player in my generation in former Yugoslavia. Another important moment was when Vinko Jelovac chose me as a captain of Olympia when I was 18. And of course, probably the biggest step was when Dusan Ivkovic chose me for the national team of Yugoslavia. I was very lucky and grateful to be a part of that team with the greatest player of the time, Raja, Kukoc, Divac, Paspal, Petrovic, Obradovic, Chutora, and many others. In my career as a player, I was influenced by many great coaches, Drvaric, Sagadin, Messina, Malkovic, Šakota, Subotic, who all gave me a lot. All these people that I mentioned and a lot of others that I didn't helped me to become a person that I am today, so thank you all. I believe I had a very successful career as a player, and I'm lucky to have a second career as a coach. My whole life, everything was about basketball, and I still managed to achieve something that I am most proud of, my family. I have 3 wonderful kids, Aliana, Tori, and Jon, and my wife, Irena, who has been my constant support and companion for the last 30 years of a very interesting and challenging life. I want to thank them all for their love and support, and thank you for giving me this award. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Zdovci. This almost completes the ceremony of the 2020 class of the FIBA Hall of Fame. But before we close, we invite FIBA Secretary General Andreas Zaglis for some closing remarks. Mr. Zaglis, please.
Thank you. Dear inductees, dear members of the FIBA Hall of Fame, it is a great day for you, but it's also a great day for us, the International Basketball Federation. The Hall of Fame, as you know, was created in 2007, an idea of legendary coach and basketball historian Pedro Ferrandiz, together with Secretary General Emeritus, late Borislav Stankovic. This is the 10th ceremony that we're concluding, but the first ever held virtually. You are now members of the FIBA Hall of Fame thanks to your successes on international level, in particular, thanks to your successes with the national teams. We saw today 12 inductees, 4 women, 8 men from 12 different countries, 4 continents, 9 players with 5 new countries, Canada, Hungary, Japan, Korea, and Ukraine now represented on the Hall of Fame, and 3 coaches who certainly would have selected each and every one of our players today on their rosters. The combined medal tally of this class is remarkable. 5 Olympic golds, 5 World Cups, 10 World Cup podium finishes, 20 Continental Cup medals, no less than 70 National League titles, and 11 international club competition titles. It's only appropriate that on behalf of the International Basketball Federation, we address to you now a few personal remarks. Ms. Fijalkowski, there is basically nothing in European basketball you did not win. Your induction is an inspiration for young French girls, as you correctly said, to pick up a ball. Mr. Wopatka, your decoration as a Hall of Famer comes at a time that a new great era for Polish basketball opens, like the one you led a few decades ago, after the top 8 finish in the World Cup for Poland, and now the participation of your men's team in the Olympics with 3x3. Mr. Nash, first player from Canada, showing that a 2-time NBA MVP does not only suit up for his national team when it comes to the Olympics and the World Cups, but also in the AmeriCup and the University Games, showing what it means to wear the national flag on the chest. Ms. Nemeth, first player from Hungary, you dominated under the baskets in Europe for almost 2 decades, and you have become an icon of women's basketball in Hungary. And we're so pleased to be coming with 2 under-19 and 17 world championships in Hungary over the next 2 years. Ms. Park, the first time for Korea in the Hall of Fame, you're not simply the first of your country. You are a World Cup MVP, taking your country to one of its biggest successes, perhaps the biggest in basketball in its history. And what a motivation this is for the Korean ladies that will step on the court in Tokyo in a few weeks' time to participate in the Olympic Games. Mr. Paulauskas, you're not only part of the Hall of Fame as of today, you're also part of a very exclusive club of players that have at least 2 Olympic, 3 World Cup, and no less than 5 Eurobasket medals. This is simply self-explanatory. Mr. Sako, on the year of Olympic Games for Japan, you, the Mr. Basketball of Japan, are the first person to be inducted in the Hall of Fame as a player, and all that, as we saw, for a very good reason. Mr. Volkov, dear Sasha, we know today Ukraine is very proud of you, as it has been for so many decades. You dominated European courts with a rare versatility and also belonged to the first generation of Europeans in the NBA. Mr. Zdovc, a man that has left his mark on what is the definition of a playmaker in FIBA basketball, member of perhaps one of the most complete national teams of all time in 1989. And of course, our coaches. Mr. Magnano, you went to Olympic glory in my hometown, and what is better for a coach than to lead his own country to the pantheon of the Olympic gold medal? Mr. Pesic, winning a Eurobasket with 2 different national teams is as rare as it sounds, and your titles and the collection of titles in your career is extremely rare, as we saw today. And this was not only enough, you went on to win the World Cup for your country. Ms. van der Veer, an exemplary university coach that served and continues to serve with tremendous success the basketball in her country. Dear Hall of Fame inductees, besides a big and heartfelt thank you to all of you, allow me to say that FIBA and the FIBA Foundation will ensure that your legacy is preserved, is well known, well promoted for the benefit of the generations that follow in your footsteps. I wish you enjoy the next months of full national team, FIBA basketball, the Olympic Games, and of course, best wishes and thank you very much from the FIBA headquarters. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Zaglista. Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes the enshrinement ceremony of the 2020 class of the FIBA Hall of Fame. On behalf of FIBA, we thank again all inductees for making themselves available. We hope you enjoyed the ceremony, and we look forward to seeing you soon around some basketball courts of the world. Bye-bye, and enjoy the rest of the day wherever you are.